Hey, you guys, how y'all doing again? Welcome back to another episode of We Be Talking. Okay. Now, I know I keep saying this, it looks a little different because there's more than three of us, it's four of us. So, we're going to have Shika's husband, Daniel, come on today, and he's going to allow us to ask any questions we want to ask. So, welcome, Daniel, to the show. Yay! Glad you're here. Welcome to your second appearance. We're glad you're here. So, I know I have a few questions.
Yeah.
You got a question already?
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Just to throw us out there, because I got others. I want to know why most men go after older women. What about older women make men want to be like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna get that? Or
We be talking, what's the word? Everything you never heard. We be talking, oh, we talking.
what you think?
What your question says, your question came at it like why most men, and
Yeah.
are you talking about younger men? Are you just talking about men in general? I'm trying to understand the question. What you asking me?
I guess it could be men in general, because even if there's sometimes, well, no, not a lot of older men go for older women.
Yeah,
but a
because
lot of
older men go for
men
younger
go for
women.
Because
Older men go for younger women.
go for younger women. But the
So
trend a lot of times you see is a lot of young men trying to get this older woman. You know what I mean? So what you think?
Okay. So and again, I'm speaking from a male perspective. This is me just throwing my disclaimer out there. I'm not pointing no fingers at anybody or whatever the case is, but men in general, if a man is attracted to an older woman, and I think this is what you're trying to ask me. What is it about older women that attracts guys, right?
Yeah.
Older women they seem to pretty much know. They've been through they've been through life. Whenever you're dealing with younger women, and younger women are always trying to find themselves. They still don't know who they are. They're unsure of what, they pretty much change from like year to year.
You get what you're saying.
You could talk to a 22-year-old woman, and then you could talk to that same 22-year-old woman when she turns 25, and it's going to be almost like night and day, because you guys mature way faster than males do. So what is it about older women that attracts male? Well, they're pretty much, they pretty much know what they want out of life, and if they choose to get involved with a younger man or any man in general, for that matter, it's pretty much set in stone. She has a goal, and she's trying to meet that goal, whether she trying to build a relationship or whether she missed out on a part of her life that she's trying to fulfill. Then it's gonna be that, But the older women, you kind of cut out the mystery of who that person is. And that's why I feel like guys would be like pretty much attracted to them in that regard. And you could take it way left,
Yeah.
I got a question.
What's up?
I don't mean to cut you off.
No. I was just gonna say that you could take it way left, and you could go in the bedroom. You know what I mean?
I'm about to go in the bedroom.
You could go in the bedroom, and the experience is different than a younger woman.
How you know?
The younger woman,
she can shut
up. Be trying to impress, do stuff that she probably seen on TV.
Yeah.
And I'm saying young woman, the younger couple, that younger stage in life, you're gonna be pretty much trying to impress and do stuff that that young people do.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah.
Whereas when you get older, and the older woman,
Oh, things slow down.
slows down, and you're gonna be trying to get straight to the point. Like okay, you gotta make love, like you gotta make it intimate.
I was gonna say, I think it gets better with time. Looking
Sure.
back when we were
Yeah.
younger, because again, we've been together since we were teenagers. Looking back when we were younger, you know, we were just trying to see how acrobatic we could be and see how weird and different we could be
Yeah,
with, right? But
Keep it spicy.
yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, we was just, I don't know which one called that was extremely hot. But then, you know, as we gotten, you know, older and grown in the relationship, it slows down and you really start to care about, okay, each other's bodies and
Yeah.
like it's different. It's so much better, thank God. But it's so different, you know. You know, it just get better. But I do got a question along those lines. Why is sex so important or so high on a man's list? Most men, like, why is that such a big deal? Not because I know that sex is important to men, but why, you know, maybe it's important to some women. I just had one pop up in my head. But why is it such a big, why is it so high on y'all list? What's that about? Why y'all think, like, what is it? Why you want it all the time?
So
I mean, men, sorry.
yeah,
wanna
that's pretty much simple. Are you talking about married men or are you talking about just men in general?
In period.
I mean, men in general. I mean, sex is it's just it's in our nature. It is in our nature to have a high sex drive, tolerance, whatever you want to call it. From the time that we're young, like from the time that we're young and we're introduced to certain things, we could literally, like I know y'all have heard of men having wet dreams at a young age or whatever the case is. A wet dream consists of, you know, we're not even actually having sex. Nobody's even touching us. It is our imagination in our dreams that literally makes us orgasm.
So yeah,
Like
as adults too.
So is it safe to say that you guys are chasing a feeling most of the time?
yes, exactly. But it's more so of a power move, if you will. Can I use that?
Yeah,
I would say more of a power move.
Hey.
Well, okay, so as men, you know, we're the givers.
Mhm.
Women are naturally the
Oh,
receivers.
you give it. I'm just
And-
playing. No.
And
that.
you can't.
Receive.
So men are the givers, and men are and women are the receivers. Can I, you know, can I make her feel this way, or can I make her do this in that regard? But that's coming from a control, because I like to be in control. Now, some men they can, you know, let the woman take control and do stuff like that or whatever. But you know, from a control freak, I like to be in control. It's more so of a power move for me. Can I make her, you know, do this if I do this? You know what I mean? Like the noises, you know, like can I make her moan this way? It's more power. It's like, okay, I'm doing this, so this is causing, it's a cause and effect. It's like I'm doing this is causing her to do this.
Okay.
Cause and effect. You know what I mean? And so, like I say, but going back to the original question, sex, it is in our nature. And
I think it's in my nature too.
Yeah.
Like, it's in our nature.
But you guys know how to kind of suppress it.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
And I go back to the first video when I was talking about that the discipline, the dogging us. If you, like I say, if you take two dogs, a male dog sniffing on a female dog, and in the heat of the moment, they sniffing each other and they are really trying to get to know each other right then and there. They ain't wasting no time. And if the chemistry is right, you gotta be careful because they might start humping. Well, it's the same way. It's the same way with like men and women. For me, it's coming from a heterosexual relationship. Men and women, it's pretty much the same way. Now it's meet a woman, and this, if you have no self-discipline, then on your first date, you ain't gonna be able to take your eyes off her breasts. If she showing some cleavage or something, she get up and walk to the bathroom, you can be looking at her butt. It's gonna be on your mind the whole time. And if you don't have that self-discipline, she'll be able to tell it. And that's pretty much, to most women, that's a turn off. So
yeah, I'm about to say that could be a turn off too.
yeah, and it could be a turn off. But for somebody who knows how to control, who has a little bit more control, they could, make it a little bit more, mysterious and control that part, not like control your eyes, keep like actually have a conversation with her, engage her mind,
Right.
and actually like engage her intellect and let her know that you're actually talking to her and you don't have that on your mind, even though we know it's probably on her mind too.
I think while
Oh, it's
dating-
on her mind too.
Oh, of course.
Samantha.
But I think when dating, before you like actually get married, it is so sexy and it's such a turn on for guys not to be all about sex, but to
Yes.
know that they are into you,
Yeah.
and even married, but when you've been married for as long as we have, it's a turn on when your husband is constantly like, ooh, or always after you or touching you. It just makes you feel like, dang, after all these years, you still want to hit my booty. Like, I mean, I know my booty is real big, but after all these years, you still want, you still texting me talking about, let's do it. or however you text me, what you say.
Yes.
Yeah, I think-
That's
Yeah.
I have a question.
What's up?
So my question is, why is it that some men are so, and I guess it goes back to self-control, but why is it that some men are so quick to give up everything just for a little piece of tail?
That's good.
whole family, their whole life.
Why? And only to find out that little piece of tail wasn't even worth it.
You know that little piece of tail wasn't nothing.
So
And listen,
That
little piece of
little
tail.
piece of tail cost you nothing but trauma and trouble.
so okay. And
Nothing.
Just talk about forgiveness, right? Okay, go ahead, guys.
Woo, don't do that, Kim.
when I'm gonna say this, Samara. So like I said, so when a man leaves his family and he had everything that he's worked on and built over a period of time to go and chase after some
Fantasy.
and I was getting to that. So it becomes a fantasy, right? There might have came a point in time in that relationship where that man, his interests may have changed.
Okay.
I said in the beginning that women mature way faster than men do.
yes, we do.
Sometimes in our maturity process, stuff changes, interests change. Maybe you might want to consider the interest, in what I'm gonna use this, and I hate using this, but in what the wife or the main one was doing. Maybe the 20%, remember the 80-20 rule,
Mhm.
maybe the 20% became a little bit more interesting than the 80. That's not a justifiable reason.
Mm-mm.
Here's the problem.
But it is what it is.
Here's the problem. I'm gonna go back to talking about this fantasy world.
'Cause then when you
A
come
lot
out-
of times, you living in reality and you get involved with this fantasy world. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it may become hard to come out of that, especially if that's what you're interested in right then and there. Men, for us, planning and
Looking ahead.
men live for the here and the now and what's new and what's popping.
Boys.
Right.
Yeah.
Boys, men,
Immature.
it's all in us. It's in all of us. But that goes back to the self-discipline on how to
And
control,
maturity.
on how to control what's going on in the inside of you. If you have no control about it, that fantasy world is going to become, or you're going to try to make that fantasy world your reality. Simple as that. If you don't have no self-control, because as a man, and I'm married, you know what I mean? I'll be sitting up here lying to telling you that I don't find no other woman in this world attractive except my wife.
You need to go on the lie then.
You see, but that's what I'm saying. You
No,
want the
it's
truth
true.
from a man.
No.
I'm attracted to women. I'm a heterosexual male, and I'm attracted to women.
That is.
I love everything about a woman. Big, small, medium size, whatever. I love women. I've been around women my whole life. I was raised by my mama. I grew up in the house with my two sisters and my aunt. I've been around women my whole entire life.
Yeah, let me tell you what
That's-
he told me one time in our marriage. We were going through something, and I was just like, I'm done, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you got to stop texting these women from your job, period. You know what he gonna tell me? He gonna
What
say,
he say?
I don't know if I can make you that promise because all I know is, look, we gonna use. All I know is women. I ain't had nothing but women in my life. So I love women. I'm drawn to women. But you're gonna have to know I'm the only woman, Negro. And so, but anyway, I was gonna say I just want y'all to know that little nugget because I don't want y'all to think this has been perfect, but it has been a journey, but it's good. Okay. Look, but this is what I want to say real quick. When you get caught up in that fantasy world and you come back to reality and then lost everything you have, that's when life hits you hard.
Yeah.
That's when you realize I gotta start getting this together because the fantasy world gonna cost me my whole life.
Yep.
And I know men that ain't been lucky enough to come up out that fantasy world and had that woman right beside them.
Hey,
She ain't gonna stick beside him.
and y'all can attest to this. I know that y'all been on different ships, right? When the ship leave, I know y'all seen couples,
I love
you know, come out the woodwork whenever the boat is underway. I mean, like when you got to
AID
see,
tunnel. The love tunnel.
oh yeah,
AID.
and it happens. And then I've seen this also. I've seen that married man or that married woman get so caught up in those 6 months because
Yep.
they was constantly around each other. That's all that they knew. Every time the boat pulled in, there was you know at every port visit together or whatever the case
Yep.
was. And they spent all that time
Vacationing. It
together for
was vacationing.
6, 7, 8, 9 months at a freaking time, sometimes more than that.
Yes.
And then you gotta
Yeah.
come back home to reality that I can't be with this person who I just had this 9 to 11 month fantasy with.
In
And
Italy, Spain, Dubai,
What
everywhere.
you done pretty much traveled the world together, right? And created this. You done took pictures. You done been swimming. You know what I mean? You have done the absolute most with this fantasy world. Now, when the boat, because the boat not gonna stay out there forever. We know that.
Nope.
Eventually, it's gonna pull back in, and that wife is gonna be on that pier, or that husband is gonna be on the pier, waiting on you to come back to the same to the same thing that you left 9 to 11 months ago.
What you mean the same
Right?
thing?
They're gonna want you to come back to the same thing. Okay, I've been here with these kids.
Yeah.
You need to come help out with these kids because you been
Yes.
gone. And
Yes.
to them, it's a break. Like I've been here with these kids, or I've been here doing this, waiting on you, or whatever the case is.
Yes.
And
These
I
kids
need a
and
break. You need to come on back and help me out because that's what the reality is saying. But that fantasy world becomes real attractive.
Yeah.
That fantasy world becomes real attractive when you know when you spend so much time together.
That's true.
And you done probably made plans to you know what I'm saying, to go
Oh,
ahead, go
yeah.
ahead and leave
Yeah,
her.
y'all was probably stupid.
Planting them seeds. Talking about, you know what?
Yes.
I can't even talk to her the way I talk to you. I can't
Yes.
even, he don't understand me the way that
That's so true.
that my husband do. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They want to talking to their girlfriends about it. They probably writing their mama via email about it. You know what I mean? They doing the absolute most out here in this fantasy world. And I just use the out to sea thing, but sometimes it happens right here. Like right here.
Yes.
People do it all the time.
Yeah, people do it all the time. You go to work, you got the little thing that constantly walking by your desk, smelling good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Looking good, smelling good.
You know what I'm saying? Bringing you lunch and carrying on, and that stuff becomes attractive.
Yeah.
That stuff becomes attractive. But I think that,
especially when your husband out to sea.
I think that when that the most important thing that we have to do in those times is make sure that we're doing everything that we can in the relationship to make sure that we're not coming up short in places that somebody else can, become
right
in that.
I was gonna say because we talk about this all the time. The out to sea fantasy life, the whole, because that's our life, is I'm at home with the kids. So those are some constant conversations in my house. But I want you to talk to them about how do you keep yourself from getting caught up in that? Because some things you've explained to me on how you do that out to sea.
Yeah. So listen.
For a male, in my mind,
for males, female, for couples.
Yeah.
If you're in a committed relationship.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking every time he go out to see you somebody way. That's my mind.
It's always gonna be somebody
like. Let me tell y'all something. In my wife's mind, everybody want me, and I be trying to tell her. I be trying to tell my wife, nobody want me.
That's a lie. It ain't everybody. Don't do that. I don't think everybody want him, but I do. I hear the stories from you guys, but all y'all in the Navy, so I know that is serious. Like the women out there, that y'all put on the sea goggles and everybody fine.
So women, it's the men too.
Yeah, but like I say, and this is all gonna boil back down to self-discipline. If I go out to sea, right, what I've experienced is that when you get involved in those type of relationships, from what I've seen and what I've experienced, you got to make time for that type of stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You literally have to make time for that stuff, because if you look at the plan of the day, the plan of the week, or whatever your ship got going on,
your day is planned from the start to finish.
And there is no time for, oh, I'm about to go see Boat Boo. That ain't in the plan of the day. If you follow the plan of the day, you're gonna go to bed. It's called taps.
At 10 o'clock.
And at 10 o'clock, if you still up wandering around on the dang on mess decks, if you still wandering around in the bosun locker, in storeroom 8,
different jobs,
10, sneaking in and out, each other birthing and stuff like that, that's not in the plan of the day. You have to make time for that stuff. You literally do.
Yeah.
And if you are doing stuff like that, then like if you are, then there's something else is lacking. Like you ain't working out, you know what I mean? You ain't eating right. Because that stuff is extra. And you literally have to make time for that type of stuff. Like and I'm being totally honest with you. Think about it. For all the Navy people that's been out there and that had boat boos, and you done did your little thing, you done did your little thug thizzle. You was out there, like you was out there.
You was making that time.
You was out there at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Whether it's your job or your workout time or your food, something.
Yeah.
Your sleep, your sacrifice.
In the morning, playing spades. 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, playing spades. She walked by. Meet me in the little room or outside.
in the shop. Yeah.
Cause they gets it in.
It don't matter.
Yeah,
Listen,
it don't matter.
when you out to sea, people get creative out to sea.
Let me tell you
Of course.
something.
We had a sex watch when I was on my first ship. That you had to go over and you had a person
There's
that walked
somebody like me on the boat created it.
doors and make sure nobody was in there having sex on it. We had those. That's how bad that's how bad it was. Like like you said, you got to make time for it. But people do make time for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
You make
want
time
to-
for what you feel like is important to
Right.
you.
Cause I stood watch out to sea. I
On
don't
an
know about
individual
nobody else. We
basis.
stood watch. So when you ain't at work, you off work, you gotta watch in the next, 15, 20 minutes. You ain't got time, unless they're gonna walk around and roll over the shit with you while you on watch.
Right.
That's been done too. So it's definitely a door can be left open when it's time to deploy. You leave stuff unsaid, you leave stuff undone, you leave on bad terms.
And vice
And
versa.
then now you send them out with a loaded pistol, pretty much.
I mean, and vice versa.
Or even if you didn't.
I was gonna
Right.
say, but I was saying vice versa. I've experienced firsthand when the husband or the wife leave, it's time to
Yeah.
play because there's no
Yeah.
accountability. You can say and do and go and come as you want. People
Yeah.
come in and out, you're like, who gonna like, how you gonna know? How you gonna know? He will never know, or she will never know. But that's the trick, because that other person always knows.
Yeah.
They always find out.
Absolutely.
It never works out the way that you scheme. And I think that's the trick of the enemy.
I think sometimes, a lot of times it do work out and they get greedy and they continue to do it.
Yeah.
And then eventually, now I gotta answer for it, because you ain't gonna get away with it a million times and
Yeah,
think
No, you're
nobody-
not. No, you're not.
Mess up somewhere.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
definitely believe they can get comfortable with doing it and then greedy and then sloppy, after the greediness.
And
You
then
just
you
don't
think,
care now,
I think a thing that he left out is you get caught up in that and you think
Mhm.
that person is better than what you have. Or
That's
and
And
then,
then
it all smacks in your face.
reality slap you in the face.
And then you didn't
You
got to
found out.
and all you want is your old life back.
Listen, you find out that little piece of tail that you was chasing is community tail.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Everybody
but
has
honestly-
that tail.
Hey,
Nothing special about that tail.
Look, on the flip side of this, I've seen it happen that way. And I've also seen it happen
Yeah.
to where these couples get out there and their fantasy world became reality.
And they done got together.
And they done got together
And still together. I know a couple right now, but when I look back at that, I'm like, you know what? She ain't
So like I said, it all depends on what you got going on in your relationship. If your relationship is rocky,
yeah,
To begin with, yeah.
to begin with,
you have to be
and you put a deployment
In between it, yeah.
on top of a rocky relationship,
yeah,
that's called pressure.
yeah,
And,
Yes.
and
You definitely
that's
have to
gonna
have
break.
a strong foundation.
you do.
If you don't have a strong foundation, when these things happen, you're liable to fall. And that's it's definitely a test of whether your foundation is strong or not.
Yeah,
Because
and
sometimes you could be thinking your foundation is strong. You could be thinking everything is good. And then boom, here you go, this test coming.
and you
Maybe
gotta
it wasn't as good as you
prioritize.
thought it was.
Those military families, like couples, you gotta know, because going in and out, 9 times out of 10, by the time you get ready to leave or she leaves, that y'all ain't doing too well, and who knows what might come out of this.
Absolutely.
You have
Yeah.
to build your life around prioritizing with each other. Each other have to have the same goal with them leaving. Same goal with you. You guys got to have that tunnel vision in order to keep it together. Is it easy? No.
No, it's not.
But is it?
But it
worth
definitely
in
it's
the end?
work. It's work.
It's work.
And both of y'all need to be on the same pages when it comes to there's work to be done. We got to do this. You know what I'm saying? It might not be pretty like she says, but you just got to put the work in if you want it to last. Because is it worth? You know what I'm saying? I feel like your marriage should be worth the work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It should be worth the work.
And I think communication is a big key too, because if you find yourself in a situation where you feel like, oh man, I can't do this, or I need to do, you can talk to the spouse and say what's going on so they can encourage you and and be like, hey, well, this will really hurt me, or I don't think you should be, feeling this way and doing that. Or you can talk to them, communicate what's going on instead of bottling it in and then just exploding all of a sudden because you got no outlet, nobody to talk to you
Yeah.
about it. What
Can
you
I ask
feeling.
y'all a question?
You have those feelings.
Yeah.
I want to ask y'all a question, and I kind of want to go back to a subject that I think one of the subjects that y'all had on the previous show. So y'all talk about y'all husbands being y'all's best friends, right? I remember a show, saying stuff like that. So being your best friend, can your husband or your significant other, your compatible person, whoever, can they really talk to you about anything?
Yes.
Well, honestly, that's what me personally I would like to get to. But right now, no. Right now, I don't think he could talk to me about anything because I've been hurt. You know what I mean? And that's a flaw for me, and in my forgiveness area, I guess. So I don't think he can talk to me about anything, but I would like to get there. That's one of my biggest things. I want him to be able to talk to me about anything and me not blow up.
Okay. Okay. So would you still consider him your best friend, even though he can't talk to you about anything right now? So
Oh, Daniel.
Is he your best friend?
Yeah.
Well,
I
Daniel,
I being funny.
I'm
No,
saying,
no,
why you hot like that?
No,
Oh my
but-
God.
It's a good
But-
question.
I do. I feel the same way, Kim.
I
Some
would.
like he can't just be sitting up. I mean, even though he is stupid, you can't just be sitting up and talking to me like, oh, what thing? Oh, look at that thing, man.
Right.
No, but we actually gotta have a because I ain't even finna listen to me talk about no another dude. But we are at a place now, like if we go on vacation, I'd be like, man, look at her. He'd be like, man, but he'll be like, man, now that don't make no sense. Why she walk around like that?
Right.
Like he got a problem with it. But I already know, and I don't have no problem. I can care less about him looking at another woman. But
Oh my God.
we can do that back and forth, like, but as far as like him being dead serious, like, man, I wanted to smash last night with that girl, but
Now,
you
see, that's
with me.
no, we not
Never disrespect you.
we not
That's
finna
a
do that
level
right
of
there.
disrespect in a marriage anyway. You shouldn't even be talking to your wife about what you wanted to do with another woman that did. Y'all ain't.
We was best friends.
But shut up. But I can talk about
Come
I
on,
can't.
We be talking, oh, we talking.